It's a cloudless July morning in 1937, the kind that feels ripe for adventure. Amelia Earhart, the daring aviator who had already etched her name into the annals of history, boards her Lockheed Electra. Her goal? To circumnavigate the globe, an audacious feat that would cement her legacy as a pioneer of the skies. But as the plane ascends into the azure expanse, little does the world know, it will never see Amelia Earhart again. What happened to her? Was it a navigational error, a mechanical failure, or something far more sinister? Stay with us as we dive into one of the greatest mysteries of the 20th century. A story filled with hope, ambition, and an enigma that has refused to be solved for over 8 decades. Amelia Mary Earhart was not just an aviator, she was a symbol of defiance, courage, and innovation. Born in 1897 in Atchison, Kansas, Amelia was captivated by the idea of flying from a young age. Her adventurous spirit stood in stark contrast to the expectations of her time, where women were often confined to domestic roles. By 1932, she had become the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean, a feat that catapulted her into international fame. By 1937, Amelia had set her sights on her most ambitious goal yet, an around-the-world flight along the equator. She partnered with Fred Noonan, a skilled navigator, for the journey. The two had meticulously planned the route, covering 29,000 miles and 30 stops across continents. It was a mission that symbolized human ingenuity and resilience. On June 1, 1937, Amelia and Fred took off from Miami, Florida. Their journey was filled with challenges, but they pressed on, covering South America, Africa, India, and Southeast Asia. By July 2nd, they reached Lae, Papua New Guinea, leaving only 7,000 miles to complete the journey. The next leg would take them to Howland Island, a tiny speck of land in the vast Pacific Ocean. This stretch was critical and perilous. Howland Island was barely a mile wide, and precise navigation was essential to find it. Amelia and Fred carried radio equipment to communicate with the Coast Guard cutter Itasca, stationed near the island. But as they approached their destination, something went terribly wrong. Radio transmissions between Earhart's plane and the Itasca grew increasingly desperate. Amelia's voice crackled through the static. "We must be on you, but cannot see you. Gas is running low." These chilling words were among the last ever heard from her. Despite frantic efforts to guide her to the island, the signal faded, and her plane vanished without a trace. The disappearance sent shockwaves around the world. A massive search operation was launched, involving ships, planes, and even submarines. But no wreckage, no remains, and no definitive clues were ever found. It was as if Amelia and Fred had been swallowed by the ocean itself, leaving behind a void filled with questions and theories. One theory suggests that the plane ran out of fuel and crashed into the Pacific. The vast expanse of the ocean, combined with strong currents and deep trenches, would make any wreckage nearly impossible to locate. This explanation, while plausible, fails to satisfy those who believe the truth is far more complex. Another compelling theory involves Gardner Island, now known as Nikumaroro. In 1940, skeletal remains were discovered on the island, along with items that seemed to match Amelia's possessions. However, the bones were lost, and subsequent DNA tests on other artifacts yielded inconclusive results. Could Amelia and Fred have survived the crash, only to perish as castaways on a deserted island? Then there's the darker theory, that the Japanese captured Amelia. Some speculate that her plane veered off course and landed in the... In recent years, technology has breathed new life into the investigation. Underwater drones, sonar imaging, and advanced DNA analysis have been employed to search for evidence. Yet, despite these efforts, the mystery remains unsolved. Amelia Earhart's disappearance has become more than a historical puzzle. It's a cultural touchstone. Books, documentaries, and films have kept her story alive, each offering its own interpretation of what might have happened. For some, it's a tale of human error and the unforgiving nature of exploration. For others, it's a conspiracy, a cover-up, or an unresolved chapter in the annals of aviation history. But perhaps the most enduring aspect of Amelia's story is the way it captures our imagination. She was a trailblazer, a dreamer, and a risk-taker. Her disappearance, while tragic, has immortalized her as a symbol of courage and mystery. As we conclude this journey into the unknown, one question lingers. Will we ever truly know what happened to Amelia Earhart? Or is her story destined to remain an enigma, a haunting reminder of the limits of our knowledge and the boundless depths of the human spirit? The truth, if it exists, lies somewhere out there, perhaps beneath the waves, hidden in an archive, or etched into the memories of those who witnessed her final moments. Until then, Amelia Earhart will continue to soar in our collective consciousness, her legacy as unyielding as the skies she sought to conquer.